We came up with the name agnostic, meaning undoubtedly absolute truth, and front meaning about group and organization. Back then we had the BYO and stuff like that, which was the Better Youth Organization. We wanted to keep everybody together, and that was our whole purpose, and it still is today.
When we first got into hardcore, even before we thought of making a band, it was just an outlet. It was a place to go every weekend where you could go and you could go nuts. You know, you get on that dance floor and no matter what happened to you during that week, you got it out.
If I wasn't at the hardcore right now, I don't know, I'd probably be like a truck driver or something.
No more questions! Here's your answer from New York City! Sick of it all! Yo, New York, you remember what time it is? It's summertime!
New York hardcore? What is New York hardcore? What is New York hardcore?
Me. I grew up around Guidos and kids like that and Cousins and
shit, I was the only white kid in my neighborhood.
And I was totally always getting beat up and always thrown around, and I was rejected from that whole little society there. They couldn't accept me for what I was.
So we built our own.
I found a clique of people that I got along with. We were people that, you know, that strived for different things. And the kids that I was growing up with that were abusing me and beating me up now work at like offices or in supermarkets, and
or they're all Murphy's Law fans.
Back in 1982, 83, it was, like I said before, like a family. It was a life, it was like everybody's together. We were pretty much it was a very poor way of living. We all lived in one apartment, 188 Norfolk Street, down here in Lower East Side. It was about 10 of us. And our ways of eating or anything like that was we used to actually, you know, man on the street, you know, ask for change and stuff like that. And we worked together. We'd all bring back money and we'd eat. It was a very poor lifestyle. And we lived together. We learned how to live as people together instead of like individually breaking up and like being like, you know, selfish stuff. We kind of learned like sort of like a commune, you know, sort of like you could say like a hippie commune, but it was nothing like a hippie commune. But what I'm trying to say is, it was more of a harder commune, you know.
We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff on my first album, an album called Victim in Pain. This song here is called Victim in Pain.
I got into hardcore when I was like 17. What happened was I was into metal for a long time, and I was into AC/DC and all that other stuff, and I loved it, you know, all through high school. And after a while, the lyrics started getting to me. I was starting to get into like the heavier stuff like Slayer, and I really didn't give a shit about Satan. I couldn't care less. It didn't apply to me.
Hardcore raises the issues, proposes the solutions. It takes it that step further. And it also has always dealt with things on a much more personal level that we can all do something about. And I knew when I started putting on shows, when I did the record label, I was not out to change the world. I knew I wasn't going to change the world, but I could always change, and I think I did change, my part of that world. I had to be like 13, 14 years old, and was sick of the scene in Queens.
In Queens,
Astoria, Queens,
as if
which
there
was
is
kids
one.
with Jim Morrison's likeness painted on the backs of their jackets, and Jimi Hendrix, and I just wasn't into all these dead people, you know. I wanted to see music, and like kids were going to concerts, and they were like,
It's like,
And
you can't have
you can't
fun
get
in an
involved.
arena.
And
You know what I'm saying? The thing that made the whole punk rock hardcore thing really special is that you could relate to the people in the band. You know, I missed the whole like era of big rock arena bands. You know, I started going to gigs, like punk gigs, when I was real young. So I was always on a level where the band and you were like one. It was like you were out there, you were sweating, they were up there going at it, and and the whole, you know, the whole stage dive and the whole thing, you know, I mean, it was like you were one with the band. It wasn't like they were some kind of idols and you were down here like, oh.
Well, it
was
only
this-
happened if the band was killer.